Hello. This is what's known as a pin roll. It's not a cinnamon roll. It's not a confection, not convection. Um, it is a object that you can use to store fountain pens and roller balls and ballpoints and dip pens. I guess you could store, other things, other long cylindrical things in it. Like pencils, but then you wouldn't really call it a pen roll. Um, you might have to call it a pencil roll. But in overall size, it's about the size of a burrito. It's about the girth of a burrito. So in burrito units, it's pretty on par with a burrito. Um, in the burrito hand scale, it sort of feels like a burrito, but it's a lot more heavier than the burrito. Depending on where you get your burritos, I've seen some that are like that big around, and my hands are fairly decent. Yeah, that big around. Saw it on the Travel Channel once. Remember the Travel Channel? I miss the Travel Channel. Um, but yeah, let's get into it. Let's stop stalling with all the tangents. Um, how I like to unroll my pen roll is I like to unclasp it, and I like to wrap it around to where it's not clasped, and I like to unfold it here. In this pen roll, in this pen case, in this pen burrito, actually I can't call it a pen burrito because I saw on either Jet Pens or the Goulet Pen Company YouTube channel that there is a burrito pen case. It looks like a burrito. It looks like a tortilla, and it's really cool. But yeah, it's not a burrito. It's a pen case. It's a pen case. It's a pen roll, not a pen burrito. I will eventually get the pen burrito, and I will do a review on the channel. So subscribe and leave a like. You don't have to. If you're just watching this, hello, hi. If you're gonna subscribe, hi. I would very much like for you to subscribe. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's get into the unveiling of my pens as a little flap to keep it protected. And as you can see by all the ink stains that are, if they're even visible on the camera, here, I have used this pen roll a lot. Oh, heads up, I'm not going to do a writing sample, but I will do a small little drawing just to demonstrate all the wonderful the wonderful fountism of a fountain pen. Fountastic. Fountism? Fountain-esque? Fountain qualities? We might have to create a new word for the lexicon of how fountain penny a fountain pen can be. But anyway, let's get into it. Now let's get into it. Let's get into these pens. Because we're getting into these pens. I don't know what it is, but I'm not getting into it. I'm getting into these pens. So I don't know where to start. I guess I should start with, I don't know, let's start with my coolest one in my opinion. This is a Jinhao Cobra. This is a very heavy pen because it is comprised of metal. Everything you see on the pen is metal. The body, the cap, the band. There's no plastic on this pen. I think the only plastic on this pen, and you could say that it is plastic by a marginal amount. There's definitely some polymers in the thing that I'm eventually going to describe, and the thing I'm going to be describing is the sort of like the black enamel coatings that Jinhao. This is a Jinhao. If I didn't manage, but they use like the same enamel. I have another Jinhao pen. It is this one, and I'll get into it later. But yeah, I think the only thing plastic or polymer related on the pen is the finish. Or maybe the gemstones that are set into the eyes, if they can if I can focus, of the snakes. They could be lab grown, or they could be glass. They're faceted. Like, these gems sparkle in the daylight, but I don't think they're real. I think they're either lab grown or they're just, a faceted glass pebble. But it's not a downside. I get asked about this pen when I use it in public, and this is a very unique pen, because I didn't get it with a standard nib. I got it with a Fude nib, and it mimics a brush. And let's open it. Let's uncap it so we can get into it. I use the phrase "get into it" a lot. I'm gonna stop. It threads off. It screws off. There are threads that are threaded, and they interlock with the pen, with the top and the part, the top and the bottom part of the pen. I can't talk. The top and the bottom part of the pen, and it's a secure close. Pro tip: if you are a non-fountain penner, and if you want to look at somebody's pen, always assume that it is a screw-off cap design. All my pens are screw-off cap designs. But yeah, like I said before, this is a really unique nib that I got on here, and it is a Fude nib. And what a Fude nib is a bent pen nib, and it's used to mimic a brush. If my camera will focus, I'm using my phone. And maybe if I use it in conjunction, with my dummy sheet of paper, you can see the bendable qualities. And it's a really unique pen to write with, because you can get, I have Diamine Red Dragon in here, by the way. You can get like a very broad line, like you would get from, a broad nib, and you go and you flip it upside down. That's the downstroke. If you flip it upside down to where the feed's facing you, you get a very thin line. And if I was going to use this pen for writing and not drawing, I would write it flipped a lot, because I just get like nice lines, like when, I write, what word am I going to write? I said there's not going to be a writing sample, but just to demonstrate, I'll write letters. I'll write letters just to demonstrate the quality. Not the quality, the qualities of the nib. So, really basic letter with the finer point of the pen, is a T. And that's how it looks. Getting it in camera? Yeah. I'm using my phone. This is my first video, can't you tell? And then when you have the flat part on the downstroke, you get a very broad line. And this is where it gets crazy, guys. This is where it gets super crazy. Okay, are you ready? If you do not go straight up and down, you will not get a broad line. You will get a extremely broad line. So, the T, you can use more of an X. I'll draw proper T. Proper. Capital T. Yeah. This is really thick and really thin lines, and I really love the line variation. And I'll do a drawing with all these at the end. Only 9 minutes. 9 minutes to get into a pen. Let's move on to the other one. The rest of the pens. We have, I'm just going to go from right to left. We have the Duke, I forget the model number. It's either the Duke 999 Fude Nib or the Duke Fude Nib. I really like Duke Fude. I really like this pen, not Duke Fude Nib pens. They only have like 1 or 2 models, and I don't have the other 2 models. This is my other Fude Nib pen. This is a larger Fude Nib compared to the Cobra. I really like this pen. It's stainless steel and the black enamel. I think it's the same black enamel that Jinhao uses. I don't know. I just really like the detailing of the pen because it has like, I don't know if this is real wood or wood veneer, but I like it. And you just have on the bait, on the, not the finial, the back of the pen, it's broken up. And I just like the way all the black is broken up. Because sometimes, like, if you have all black stuff, I mean, yes, it's sleek, but, you know, where's the variation? And I really like how the bamboo body of the pen just breaks up. And like I said, I just like how all the silver is breaking up the black. Because all black stuff are boring. All black wardrobes, all black cars, all black. Let's see. That's another thing that's boring when it's all black. All black food. Like if it ugh, like black apples, black blueberries, black. No, I need color variation in my life because the world is full of color and I just love colors. I don't want to eat anything that is solid color nor absent of color. Although I might want to try, clear bread. But anyway, tangents aside, I really like the detailing, like I said. The cap is engraved, or not engraved, the enamel scratched away, or engraving. There's the dude, Confucius. I don't know too much about Confucius. All I know, he was a Western philosopher. I haven't read any, excerpts or text or I don't want to say scripture because scripture is a holy thing, and as far as I know, Confucius wasn't a religious leader. But then again, there is Confucianism, but I think Confucianism is not really a religion, it's more of a school of thought. Leave in the comments. But yeah. And this isn't flat, like this is embossed or engraved. You can feel the texture. And I think that's really cool. And like I said, it's engraved. The cap is engraved all the way around, all the way through. Let's get some Chinese writing. Give me a translating. Give me a translation on this. I might have to take it to my buddy Lucas's sister because she is learning Mandarin, which is a plus because Chinese letters, but it would really suck if this was written in Cantonese and not Mandarin, and I don't know. I don't know. I want to really figure out what that says. But this is a Fude Nib. This is my, like I said, this is my other Fude Nib. It twists off. And unlike the Jinhao Cobra pen, there's actually a seal when you get to the last bottom, like half of a thread. Like when you get down to the bottom right, not the bottom right, the bottom half of the thread, you'll start feeling resistance, and that's a rubber gasket. So this pen will stay sealed if you're traveling overseas or in different mountain elevations, to where pressure can build in the converter, or the cartridge, and it'll leak out. You don't have to worry with this leaking out because the cap has a rubber gasket, a rubber seal on it. And I really like it, and you gotta be sort of forceful when you turn it, because there is a significant amount of resistance. Like, see, just me gripping it firmly, there's resistance with very little give. Like, I might need to dry my hand off on the pinroll to get it. But see, there's like significant resistance until it breaks. Like I said, it's the bottom half of the thread. There, I like it. You can use this as a dip pin, and I'll get that onto that in a minute. I mentioned the engraving goes farther all the way down. The engraving goes way deeper into the pin and not just the cap, because the section. Let me get the sheet of paper. The section is engraved with engravings, and I really like that. It's the same motif of little swoops and the thing. I really like it. You can use this as a dip pin because it has a special little tine in front. So if you don't want to have this inked up all the time, if you just want it sitting in your desk to break out on occasions, you can do that. And it's a Fude nib. I already demonstrated a Fude nib, and I won't demonstrate this one. I will do a drawing at the end of the video, after all the pins. And we're not going to go from right to left with the next pin. We're going to go left to right with my Jinhao 159. This is a durable pin. You can hit this pin with an anti-tank round, and it'll still write. You can tell by all the scratches and everything. I sort of reach for this pen. In my everyday use, I do have a stack of fountain-friendly paper on me pretty much everywhere I go. I carry this in my pen, and not in my pen, in my pocket. And I really like it. I really like it. The cap got damaged. And so it's marring the finish on the back. And this really makes me want to have basically an all silver pen like this. It's a Jinhao 159, if I forgot to mention it. And I really like it. I like the blue finish. I might get another blue finish and keep it in a pouch and do it properly and everything. Just to have a pristine blue Jinhao 159 in my collection. It's really good. I really like the section. This pen broke on me. It's really durable, but the section does have a tendency to break, and you don't need to take it to the fountain pen hospital. You don't need to ship it. You just need a bit of super glue on the joints. And this pen fully writes after I've done this, and I can take the nib out. I can service the section. I can service the nib. I can unscrew it with relative ease. And I really love this pen. I've had this pen since 2020, actually. Or I've had a pen, a Jinhao 159 since 2020. This is a different Jinhao 159. I tried to keep this one pristine. It didn't happen, but on my last one, I took the nib out and put it in here because I believe in the theory that you train a pen to your writing style like you trained a pen to your art style and everything, and I didn't want to have to retrain a new nib on a Jinhao 159, and I just switched it over. And plus, my original one, my grandmother bought me, and I drew a lot with that pen, and I wanted to put the nib in my new one because I really like the form factor. It is a really comfortable pen. It posts well. I like the look of it posted, but I like the look of it unposted a bit more. I'm eventually gonna sand this down to where it's an all steel finish and probably take the clip off. I don't know though, because I don't know if this is stainless steel under the enamel coating. It might rust, and if not, and if it is stainless steel, then I could just wipe it down with some water or clean it with some gasoline. Like people used to do with the DeLoreans back in the day. But yeah, this is my Jinhao 159. I really like it. It's a really good writer. We're just gonna we're just gonna continue with the parallel. I really love the parallel. It is one of my most favoriteest pens of all time. I really like it. And if you're pretty much a fountain pen, an experienced fountain pen user, you would know the Parallel. It's a really good calligraphy pen. It's a solid, good feeling pen in your hand. You can hold it any way, shape, or form you want, and it is comfortable. I think it's comfortable because the section is just very straight. And this is a very unique nib. I wouldn't classify it as a fountain pen. I would classify it as a pen of its own. The only thing really distinguishing it from not distinguishing it, comparing it to a fountain pen, is it has a similar feed to a fountain pen. Which, the fountain pen, it's grooved. You gotta be very careful with this because it doesn't spill. It's very grooved, and it just uses like hydrodynamic properties to make sure that the ink stays in there, but comes out when it touches paper or anything. And I'm not gonna do a writing sample with this like I did the other pen. I'm going to let it speak for itself. I also have Red Dragon in this pen, and it's really cool. We're going to move on to a pen that I didn't buy. I got it as a gift. A free gift with a bottle of either it was Bulletproof Black Noodler's ink or Heart of Darkness. But I really haven't drawn with this pen or written with this pen. Anyway, it's a demonstrator pen. I have another demonstrator pen. This pen right here. We'll get into it later. But when I mean later, I mean 10 minutes. But yeah, I really like this pen. So far what I use from it, it's very light. And it is just very light. I really enjoy it. I really like it. This could be my new replacement pocket pen over my Jinhelm 159. But anyway, yeah, that's all. That's a fine nib. This pen, I don't know the actual name. I know the names of all my other pens, but for some reason, I don't know the name of this pen. I forgot it. It's not on Amazon. I bought this on Amazon. I call this my aviator pen. I don't know why I call it my aviator pen, but to me, it just seems like, a pen an aviator would use, to chart courses and everything. I think the name aviator pen works. This is a very dark rosewood that is sort of purplish and red in the sunlight. I'm using incandescent bulbs in my bedroom, so it's not gonna really show up. It might show up if I do it like this. Can you see the purple? Can you see the pink? And so sort of like the red. But yeah, I like this pen. It's a lot more front heavy. And this writes really, really nice. And I have a stub nib that I got from a really crappy calligraphy set. I got like 10 pens in total for about $50, and they were all Lamy Safari knockoffs. With really, really weird nibs, like ranging all the way up from 0.1 all the way up to about 5.5. Not 5.5, 1 millimeter. And they were just so crappy. Like, I couldn't write with them. That's how crappy they were. GQ Quill needs to step up. And the last pen, my most basic, boringest pen is my Moonman. I don't care what the lawsuit between Kaweco and Moonman was. Route, they're still Moon Men. They're not Mahjong to me. They're Moon Men. I got this because of Peter Draws. I watched his review on it, and I wanted to have it. I did not like this pen at first because of it was a fine nib, and I was very used to just, oh my god. Did the ink leak out? With demonstrator pens, it's almost really weird. No, ink didn't leak out. It was just from me unscrewing it and rescrewing it. This is a very clear and minimalist pen. It's a demonstrator. However, it's not really clear. If you let ink sit in it for a while, you got to do a deep clean. And I exclusively use Bulletproof Black in this pen, or Heart of Darkness Black. This is the pen I write down the most with. This is the pen I, like, actual words. I don't just draw. This is my fine pen that I use for the fine line work, or just, texturing, or making small things. This is a fine nib, and I really like it. I really like the section 2. It's very sparkly and glittery and red, and I think they still do it after the name change and after the retooling, but yeah, this is my Moonman C1. I really like it. Now, let's get on to drawing. And by the way, these pen rolls, you can fold these up for storage, like how you would laundry, or a handkerchief, and it could just be sitting nice and neat if you want to display your pens somewhere. Or you could, accordion fold it. Do whatever you want with it. If you have a pen roll, it's your pen roll. But anyway, let's get on to, a drawing demonstration. Nice paper. I kind of want to start out with my most unique nibs. I have more unique nibs than I have standard. When I say unique nibs, like 2 Fude nibs and 2 stubs, or italics, and this is a broad. This is a sort of like a fine, and this is not quite a Japanese fine, which is an extra fine. I call it a Taiwanese fine, because I'm pretty sure Moonman is based in Taiwan. True China? I don't know. But anyway, let's get down to the drawing. What pen do I really want to start out with? Oof. I guess I'll start with my Duke Fude nib. And let's see. I'm going to be using the bent tip, the actual tip, not the actual bent side, and I think I kind of want to draw just a square. See where that goes. Oh, trailed off. Maybe a line here. Triangle. More expressive qualities. Oop. No roll stop. No roll stop. I might want to do thick line. Oh. I think I might know what I want to draw. A little more fine detailing. I was kind of hoping for like an Eldritch Squid, but I don't think that's coming. When you write with it and with the Duke Fude in the fine position, it can fill an amazing little area. It can keep up like this. However, when you have it like this, it doesn't tend to keep up as much. I have to set it down, and I gotta let the feed like re-ink itself from the cartridge. But all in all, it's a really good pen, and you know what? I think I am going to make a sort of like a weird Eldritch squid. I don't know. Could be a weird fish. I think I'm gonna go with the original squid design. But that was me drawing with my Duke Fude nib, and that's gonna be retired back into the roll. I know what I was gonna say. I was gonna start out with some of my italic nibs or my unique nibs, but I'm gonna do my Moonman pin, my C1 or Young. By the way, what is your favorite pen to draw with or to write with? Let me know in the comments. I'm just putting in some, I don't know, black to make it less white, less empty, as you might want to call it. And now this pen is, or this drawing is not going to be super detailed because I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long. But, yeah, like I said, I use this C1 as like a fine liner, and I have a writing pen and like an actual true writing pen to write words and sentences with. I write my shopping list with this. I write my to-do list with this. I write fan letters to Fig Boot on pens and Dave Grohl with this. Actually no, I don't write fan letters to Dave Grohl. Because, you know why I don't like it? Write fan letters to Dave Grohl? Because I got a feeling his P.O. box and his message lists are ever long, or forever long, so, yeah. That's why I don't send postcards or letters to Dave Grohl. Yeah, and that was my, Moonman C1. I really like it. I'm going to show you stuff with colored inks now. This is Diamine Red Dragon in this weird Pilot Parallel italic nib. And this is a really unique pen. This is sort of like a Fude nib, I forgot to mention. Because, I can demonstrate it by drawing little bloodshot eyes. Or not bloodshot eyes, but little strips of just veins and whatever this creature is going to be by the end of the video. Yeah. You can get it really, really fine. Or, if you want to be broad, by the way, this pen uses a lot of ink, and I will show you why. But if you want, like really big lines, I'm feeling in the mood, for, cubism. We started out with a cube. Can we see? We can see. You can see. And if you like cubist, if I'm using that word right, cubist drawing, this will work. And I really like, I can't talk. I really like this this ink, and I really like this pen because you can go over it and you can get sort of like what Diamine does, another ink. It's called Oxblood, and it's more of a darker, more richer, bloody red. What the frick am I doing? The ink pulls when you draw with this pen. I really don't like it, but I can always take a tissue paper and soak up what ink I don't want to be there to leave in for darkness or not. I really love this ink. It comes in a really big glass bottle. This is just me doing tangents while I'm drawing. It writes really well. It doesn't feel as smooth as glass. I can compare it to it sort of feeling like a highlighter. But I like the sensation of writing with highlighters, and I just really love it. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm just drawing an abstraction. Distraction. But anyway, this was my Pilot Parallel. And when I say this uses a lot of ink, if you are exclusively drawing with this pen, by the end of the session, you might have to refill a full cartridge. Just that little bit of ink. If you can see on the camera, it's about like right here, and I filled it up before the video. So, if you have like extended drawing sessions or extended calligraphy sessions, keep a bottle of ink and a eyedropper handy. This is my Jinhao Cobra pen. Like I said, I really like this pen a lot because I like how it screws on the back. I like how the grip is. I'm left-handed, so this groove fits like in the webbing of my hands perfectly. And if you're left-handed, this pen melds with your hand, and I really love it. I haven't done this held this in my right hand at all. I want to see if it translates over to the right hand. No, it doesn't line up. It doesn't line up whatsoever. But in my left hand, it lines up. And like I said, I have Diamine Red Dragon in this pen. This is a very, very dry ink in big italic pens. I guess the ink feed, just like I said, needs to catch up. But you can do a lot of really cool shapes. one day I might do a video on the channel just doing a like an entire drawing with a Fude nib pen, because they are that versatile. They are that versatile. I said cubism, but I don't know. Let's cubes. Let's cubes. You know what? We're gonna draw just a series. Well, that's a rectangle. No, that's not a rectangle. I learned in science class it's an elongated squaroid. It's squaroidal in shape. Squirtial? Squirtial? That sounds like a degree in Pokemon. I have my degree in Squirtial. I can take care of Squirtles. I specialize in Squirtle. I'm a Squirtle Pokemon doctor. But anyway, I really love this pen. And with this ink, with black ink, this feels really smooth, but with Red Dragon, it feels like a highlighter. By the way, speaking of red dragons, come on, Mojang, add the red dragon into Minecraft. Add stuff to Minecraft. Make full updates. I want yearly updates again. I want 2 big yearly updates a year. No mob vote. No anything. And the movie Red Dragon. It's a really good movie. Anthony Hopkins. It's sort of a prequel to Silence of the Lambs. It was really good. Silence of the Lambs was really good. I could hold the movies and to be the same. I think I'm done with red ink. For now, I'll finish it. This is I'll finish it and post it on Instagram. This is just a quick thing. How long have we been recording? 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Dang. I gotta make my videos a little less long. So, oh no, we're not done with. We forgot to go over an italic. My aviator pen. This is a really unique pen too. It is sort of like a fine on the cross stroke and a very thick on the downstroke. You can't really draw like on the corners of like a Pilot Parallel. I really like it though. You can cover a lot of area with it. And I really like this. I have Namiki Black in this one. I'm trying to burn through my Namiki Black because I want to basically use Namiki Black as an inkwell for India ink, because I draw with India ink. I started out with India ink, and I really enjoy it. Am I doing good with my abstract squid? I think I'm doing good. Although I don't know how or where, I could draw the siphon. Because, see, a unique thing about a squid, it can, like, suck in water and squirt it out. And that's how they move. That's their method of propulsion. And that's really cool. And they use a bodily organ called a siphon. Oh my god. This pen leaks. My aviator pen leaks. And I'm okay with it. I'm thinking if I get like a custom feed or a better nib, that might help. I want to do some drawing. I want to do just more More little details. Like I said, this is Eldridge. Not anatomically correct. And if you don't like it because it's not anatomically correct to a normal, not terrestrial, an aquatic, earth-based squid. God, land squids would be so awful. I said it was a cosmic squid, an eldritch squid. Squidthulu, as you might say. There we go. I'm sort of being lazy on this because I just want to draw, and the video's running long, and I know attention spans aren't that really great, but this is a fountain pen showcase of what they all can do. This is my Jinhao 159. This has a broad nib in it. And I don't get a lot of line variation. But it covers a lot. Like if I don't have a fine nib, I will go for a broad nib, and this is one of my broad nibs I go towards frequently. I go to, if I want to fill a big area, like a smallish big area, then I don't have my Fude nib, or my Fude nib can't get into it, or if my parallel can't get into it, or if it's inked with a different color other than the one I'm drawing, I will instinctively go for my pens, my Jinhao 159 pen in particular. And I really like it. It's a copy of a really expensive pen, which is like $900 actually. The Montblanc Meisterstück, which means German for masterpiece. 149, this is the Jinhao 159. It is a clone. I eventually want to do get a 159 to see how it compares, but I am not made out of money. I am not made out of money. Anyway, moving on to the Charlie. I forgot to mention the noodle. This is the Noodler's Charlie, and this is a fine nib, I think. Let me just get another fine nib to compare it to. The good old Moon Man. The good old Moon Man. This one is the Charlie, and the bottom one will be the New Man. Yeah, I have two fine nibs. I really like this pen for its just smooth. It feels a lot smooth. I still haven't gotten this broken. I don't know what I want to make it into. Either a writing pen or a drawing pen. I might make this a writing pen and put it in my pocket and give the old 159 a break. I'm not going to be filling this all in with my Charlie. I will be using my aviator pen. I love fountain pens, and just to get into a little more about fountain pens, because I didn't explain it in the... Oh, crap. Happy accidents, happy accidents. I really got into fountain pens basically after I lost my Pilot G2, because I was drawing with a G2 for the longest time. I really liked that pen. I really liked the ink. Crap, I've drawn these squares. I've drawn the suckers too small. But, you know, happy accidents. I am getting tired. Not tired of the review, just... I don't have any editing equipment, and I'm doing this raw. If you're a Ween fan, I'm doing this brown. But, anyway, that's besides the point. I really got into fountain pens after my Pilot G2 ran out. I found the Speedball Calligraphy fountain pen at Michaels. And by the way, Michaels, your ink section has diminished. I used to buy all of my ink from you guys. Like, not just fountain pen ink, because they had like 2 or 3 fountain pens. I bought India ink. And if you know me from Instagram, by the way, hi, I'm doing YouTube now. Or if you found me from YouTube, or if you found me on YouTube, go over to my Instagram and look. I practically drew all of my drawings, like 90% of the time, with Dr. P.H. Martin's India ink, Bombay India ink. And I went back to Michael's frequently back in the day, like 5 years ago. Right around 2020, before the pandemic. I would go to Michael's and I would get all my ink. They had individual walls of ink, or they had the Dr. P.H. Martin's ink set that came with, I think, 10 colors. It was 10 colors for like $60, which in my opinion was a really good deal, because the bottles are like $7 or $8 a bottle. Yeah, but now they're just, oh, that's bugging me. Now they're just, empty. They still have Liquitex, acrylic ink, and I only have 2 bottles of that I bought a while ago. And when I say a while ago, I mean 5 years. But Michael's, the ink section now is just awful. Very little ink, very little India ink. I think India ink is a really good ink. But, like, sadly, I gotta buy it off of Amazon now versus going to my local Michael's. And I don't want to go on Amazon. I mean, I like to get out and I like to do things. And it's just, I don't know. It's bumming me out, man. It's bumming me out. And this is how and I'm just going to finish the drawing until what I think looks good, and I will sign off the video. If you want to go ahead and just click off, click off. If you want to stay in chill, stay in chill. I might not stay for longer. I do live in Florida, and it's hot. And I turned off my air conditioner because it has a weird hum that I find very, very unpleasant. So I might just have to finish this later and post this on Instagram because the video is long enough for my first video, my pin showcase. New videos will be sporadic. I might do 1 a week, I might do 2 a week, I might do 3 or 4 a week, I might do 25 in a week. But yeah, this is showing off all my pins. Not really professionally, but how I would do it. So just to conclude, these are my fountain pens. There are many like these, but these are mine. These pens are completely useless without me, and I'm completely useless without these pens. And the summary of all my pens: Jinhao Cobra, Pilot Parallel, Jinhao, not Jinhao 159, Moonman or Mahjong, C1, Noodler's Charlie, weird random Amazon pin that I don't know the name of, and it's probably discontinued. I call it my aviator pin. My Duke 999 Confucius, and my Jinhao 159. These are all my pins. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed my drawing, and I'll see you unless let's see. I'll see you in the next one unless what's a thing that will prevent me from seeing you? I will see you in the next one unless Call of Duty announces Call of Duty Ghost 2, and Call of Duty Ghost 2 will take up a majority of my time because I am a big Call of Duty Ghost fan. I want a second one just so we get a resolution. So, if you don't see me in the next one, Call of Duty Ghost 2 has came out, and I'm really enjoying it. And I would be really enjoying it. But anyway, bye, YouTube. If you made it this long, I offer this word of wisdom. No matter how stressed you get, no matter how depressed you are, these are your hands. These are meant to create, not to destroy. And if you harm yourself, and if you hurt yourself, and let's see, what's an allegory that I can use so that YouTube won't age restrict. If you want to defeat yourself in Sword Art Online, don't do it. Your hands are to create. Your hands are to spread love. Your hands should make, cool gestures. Anyway, till next time, keep dreaming, keep drawing, keep writing, and bye.